one of the things that, a lot of people have talked about, and I had, the LDS Church issued a statement sort of critiquing the show and critiquing me, which I appreciate, and I understand why members of the Mormon community would be offended by the portrayal of Brigham Young and the Mountain Meadows Massacre, which was the event that we used as kind of our inciting incident for the first episode, which was a real massacre that the Mormons committed on a group of pioneers who were heading out west, or a Mormon militia with some Paiute Indians attacked and murdered about 140 men, women, and children. And we present that in the film, and we present Brigham Young in the film. And many Mormons, it's interesting to start reading all the debate about it, but a lot of Mormons were saying, yeah, this is exactly what happened, and this is a part of our history. And there were other Mormons, particularly the seniors in Salt Lake City, were saying this is not what happened, this is not fair. But what I find interesting about the Mormon church and about kind of how we present it is I've had a lot of people come to me and go, dude, I never knew the Mormons were such savages.
So gangster.
The discussion begins with an introduction to American Primeval and the controversy surrounding its depiction of Brigham Young and the Mountain Meadows Massacre. The speaker acknowledges the LDS Church's response and highlights the divided reactions among Mormons, some accepting the historical portrayal, others rejecting it as inaccurate.
They were fucking gangster. Brigham Young was, in my opinion, a gangster, a survivor, a warrior. And for anyone who follows Mormon history, they started in upstate New York with this young kid, Joseph Smith, who found these tablets and basically rewrote the Bible and started getting this following. And then they moved to Missouri and they got popular. And then there was an extermination order, and it was kill all the Mormons. So they fled to Illinois and tried to survive up there at this place called Nauvoo that was going to be their, peaceful place to live. And Joseph Smith was murdered, and they were run out of Illinois. And Brigham Young led these dudes, men and women, on foot across the plains in the winter to Salt Lake Valley, which was this desolate wasteland. And he said, oh, we'll stay here. They'll never come for us here. And they started coming, and Brigham Young basically said, fuck it. We're not taking it anymore. He built his own army, the Nauvoo Legion, and he said, we're staying here. We won't mess with you, but if you come after us, we will fight.
The speaker delves into Brigham Young's journey, portraying him as a resilient leader who led Mormons across the harsh plains to settle in Utah. He paints Young as a gangster, a survivor, and a warrior, emphasizing his pivotal role in establishing Salt Lake City. This segment provides an engaging blend of historical facts and admiration for Young's determination.
And that point, I think, is interesting. And I think Brigham Young, who survived longer than all of them, and if you go to Salt Lake City, he did a pretty good job, right? Like,
yeah.
That's a big city, man. And
it's a great city.
And I don't know. I respect the Mormon religion. I respect Brigham Young, and I feel like we make him look like a gangster in American Primeval, and I don't know. He's a survivor, and I respect that. The polygamy was a thing, and we do touch upon that a bit in Primeval. I think Brigham Young had 40-odd wives.
Nice.
The discussion shifts to polygamy, an integral yet controversial aspect of Mormon history. The speaker humorously questions how one manages multiple wives, comparing it to modern examples of polygamy in Saudi Arabia. This portion adds a lighter, engaging tone while addressing a critical historical element.
Kid, Joseph Smith, I believe he was a young teenager, 14.
Yeah.
When he and his buddy walked into these woods in late 1830s, right? Like,
It was 1820.
Okay.
When did he when did Joseph Smith supposedly find these golden tablets? I believe it was, but either way, early.
56 wives.
Brigham Young had 56. There's a photo of
There's
it.
16 he forgot about.
See, I didn't want to oversell it, so I undersold it. I kind of knew it was in the 50s. He had 56 wives.
46 kids, only 46 kids made it to adulthood. So that's part of why.
Oh, wow. Only 46. He's basically Genghis Khan of Utah.
But
1823, he was visited by an angel who directed him to a buried book.
1823?
Yeah.
and how old was he? Like
14.
14. So,
Yeah.
so this kid at 14 and comes out of the woods and says, the angel came and told me that the Bible's almost right, but it's not quite right. So I'm going to rewrite it, which he did, the Book of Mormon. And look at where we are today. It was not that long ago, right? And in the course of that journey from Joseph Smith coming out of the woods to where we are today with Brigham Young University and the beautiful city of Salt Lake City, Utah, there was a lot of bloodshed. And Joseph Smith was murdered. Brigham Young fought in another interesting theory that isn't proven, but I believe it holds, is what saved the Mormons. Because in 1857, when you had the Mormon Wars, Brigham Young was fighting President Buchanan, and when the military was coming after him in 1857, and he was holed up and prepared to fight in Salt Lake City, and Buchanan wanted him out. And then right around 1858, 1859, little thing called the Civil War popped off.
A deep dive into Joseph Smith's origins and the foundation of the Mormon faith. The speaker narrates Smith's discovery of the Golden Tablets and the religion's rapid expansion despite facing persecution. This portion captivates with its storytelling approach, drawing attention to the dramatic history of the LDS movement.